Come on, Bark. Show him the guns. Bark, show him the guns, man. We can't bend that way, can we? What is going on, everyone? Well, it's another week, and it's the last one. My off season is officially over in like 4 days. I have 4 days of training left for the 2020 and 2021 off season, and then I'm going to take a long and overdue week off, and then it's into competition season. After the amount of time that I spent last week editing and uploading that 10,000 calorie and 15-hour video all week long. Synchronistically, this week's video is going to be a lot shorter. I talk about like synchronicities. I'm finding that the best topics to discuss are the ones that I'm kind of going through. So what not a better topic to discuss for me ending the off season and now going into an extended rest period before I start competition season, other than extended rest periods and how important they are. Now, I'm not talking about your normal rest days during the week. You know, you train 4 or 5 times a week and you get 2 or 3 rest days during the week. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is extended rest days, where I'm talking about taking a longer period of time off, anywhere from 7 to 14 days. I like to call it the reset period. You're taking everything, all those variables, and you're resetting all of them so that when you finish that rest period, everything is kind of fresh and new. You're able to, if you will, step up in terms of your progress. After training for numerous amount of weeks and sometimes numerous amounts of months, it's kind of like my own situation. I broke my own rule and I haven't taken an extended rest period for 6 months essentially. And as I've gotten closer to this week where I'm like, okay, I know when I'm going to start the competition season and I know that I need to take about a week, maybe 10 days off before that to kind of reset everything, both physically and psychologically. As I've gotten closer to this week, I've noticed that I'm starting to slump a little bit. But you just get to a point where the grind, if you will, begins to take its toll. You can find yourself becoming really blasé about your routines, becoming less motivated. You can even lose interest altogether. I've known people in the past that they get so focused and they get so into it and they just keep going and they keep going. They're the Energizer Bunny, if you will, except eventually that battery runs out and then I haven't seen them for months because they burn themselves out. So in my own instance, I found that typically 12 to 16 weeks, sometime in there. And then after that 12 to 16 weeks, 3 to 4 months, I will take at least 1 week off from all training. So that's typically my rule. It's going to differ for everyone. Everyone's going to be different. Whereas for me, I found throughout my past experience that 12 to 16 weeks is about where I start to burn out and where the grind really starts to take its toll. For some people, that could be 8 weeks. For some people, that could be 5 months. So you've got to go through that yourself and you've got to gauge that yourself. And one of the biggest things you need to do to gauge that is to listen to your body, listen to your mind. How are you feeling about your training? How is your body responding? Are you taking a lot more injuries? Has your training been sluggish? Have you plateaued in your numbers? If you're keeping track of your training numbers, are you plateauing? Is your bench not going up, for example? Are you not increasing and making progress? Mentally, do you not want to be there anymore? Is it getting harder and harder to drag yourself into the gym? Flubbing on your diet more and more? These are all signs that it might be time for some time off. I briefly touched on it, but I found both physical and psychological benefits from this extended rest period. The physical side is easy. While you're training your body hard, you're putting a lot of stress on it. Sometimes minor injuries will occur, but over a period of time, you keep training on those minor injuries and what happens? They become major injuries. So taking that week off, I found helps to let your body rest, let your body do its thing and recover and heal. You're taking an extended amount of time off, you're not continuing to put stress on it, so it's able to not only keep that thing under control, but then begin to repair it too, so that it doesn't become a major problem later on. The other side of it too is, like I mentioned, it's a reset period. You're letting your body get an extended amount of rest, which is going to help with your energy. It's going to break plateaus you might be experiencing. Like I said, it's going to give your body a longer period to rest and recover from any potential injuries or tweaks, both present and potentially future. There's a reason why, as a bodybuilding athlete, I haven't had any major injuries to the point where I've had to take 6 months to recuperate or have to have surgery to fix something. And it's because, number one, I don't push myself beyond my limits. Number 2, I listen to my body and what it's telling me. And number 3, what we're talking about here, I take extended rest periods every so often. On the other side, psychologically, once again, it's got a lot of benefits. It's something for you to look forward to. The last 3 weeks, I've circled this week in red on the calendar coming up here. I've been looking forward to it, and it's kept me on track. I keep telling myself when I start to get unmotivated, I just remind myself, hey, you don't have much longer to go. It's kind of like what I mentioned in my last video about those heavier training but heavier food days. It's something for you to look forward to psychologically, and it helps keep you on track so that you don't completely fall off the rails. If you have something like that to look forward to, you have something like that to work towards. And it's the same thing here. The last 3 weeks, my motivation it's been there, but it's been wavering. But it's something for me to look forward to. I mean, you get to relax from the grind. You get to take some time off. I'm looking forward to doing some things that I typically don't have time to do. Some of these little things that have popped up. It's kind of funny. I'm going to be busy all week working on other projects around the farm and around the house. Even with that going on and being busy on that realm, it's a switch from how the busy I am right now. So it gives you a chance to relax. It gives you a chance to do other things, focus on other projects, maybe some things that have been lacking. So there are both physical and psychological benefits to it. There are 2 guidelines to put on your extended period of time off. 2 traps, if you will, to avoid. And I'm speaking from personal experience here. The first is to set a firm date to resume training. Don't go into a reset period with no firm date to come back, because guess what's gonna happen? You very well might get to that 7 days that you were planning on taking off, and all of a sudden the excuses start. And before you know it, 7 days has turned into 14 days, has turned into 28 days, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I haven't been back to the gym, and because you didn't set a firm date. It's like anything, you've got to have a plan. Because you have that plan set in place, because you have that date in your mind, more than likely, guess what? You're going to be back in the gym and training when you should be. The second thing to keep in mind, just as important as the first, and once again from personal experience, is that this extended period of time off is an extended rest period from your training, not from your nutrition plan. I've been there. I've done that. And you get into, halfway through your extended rest period, let's say it's 7 days, you get halfway through the week, and all of a sudden you're like, I've been really good this week. I'll go ahead and pick this up and pick that up. And before you know it, it's the end of the week and your diet is completely flubbed and you've actually set yourself back further than just a week. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy a few things. You can't take a little bit of a break. But just remember, don't make it everything. Don't make it every single meal. Sometimes during that off period, and I'm planning on maybe doing it during this extended rest period for myself, is 1 meal a day. I can do whatever I want within reason, obviously. I can't have 8,000 calories in that 1 meal because, The point is discipline. Make sure your diet and your nutrition plan is still disciplined. Can you allow yourself some relaxation and a little bit of free reign? Absolutely. But just remember, something, not everything. The whole point to the last 2 kind of guidelines, where you're setting a firm date and you're making sure your nutrition plan is disciplined and on par during that extended rest period off, is to make sure that your rest period off doesn't become a regression period. You're supposed to be taking some time off to progress, not regress. And so if you're not setting a firm date, you're letting your diet discipline go to hell. You're actually at the end of the day most likely going to be regressing during that period and sliding back down the mountain that you're trying to climb. In summary, remember that this rest period at the end of the day is about progressing your numbers, progressing your goals, progressing. It's about progression. During that week off, if you're Nero fiddling on the roof while Rome is burning, well, guess what? During that next period of training that you're going to be doing, you're going to be rebuilding a lot of what you had torn down during that week or 10 or 14 days off. So I'm hoping as an athlete you took something away from that. I'm finding once again that these topics are really easy to, as soon as I'm going through something in my own training and in my own daily life, I'm like, holy crap, that's a great video to shoot. So as always, my thanks to supporters and the followers of the channel. I love you guys. You guys are great. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That YouTube has a formula for how the video gets shown to people or how it shows up in their suggested videos. Apparently, the more thumbs in this direction you have, the more likely that video is going to be shown to other people. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up. It just takes a click. If you have anything to say, anything to add, any questions, please feel free to throw a comment up. They're always welcome. I always want to hear what you have to say. Share it with anybody you think might gain some value from the content today. And finally, as always, if you're finding value from the channel, please hit that subscribe button. You're going to get notified when I upload and post new content. So once again, it's just a simple click of a button, right? So with that, as always, stay strong, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay positive. Thanks, guys. Week off. Can do whatever I want. Within the limit. You can't release the reins a little bit. Let out the corset. Uncinch the belt. Don't do what I did one time. You want to get on this too? What do you think? You want to learn about extended rest periods? You want to learn about extended rest periods? Also, are you tired of me being in your cave? Elsa, are you tired of me being in your little area here?